Welcome back, Money Talk with your boy Frank. Hey man, listen, first and foremost, my last two videos, they didn't get flagged. I took them down myself. The first one, I said some stuff about the John Jones situation, and I just didn't like how it sounded coming out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, that shit don't sound right. So I took that shit down. And then the second one, same thing. I didn't really articulate that the way that I would like to articulate that. So fuck it. On to the next. I'm here to talk about this UFC 267 card, man. I have been a critic or a hater, as people say, when you don't fully invest in like the narrative of something. But I've been like a critic of the Khamzat Chimaez or whatever. I've been a critic because I'm like, it's easy to talk. Him and Islam. I'm glad they both fight on this card because, I don't get into the hype. Like, yeah, they both talented. They get knockouts and, this and that. But fight somebody. Like, that's my whole thing with everybody. Fight somebody. Fight somebody legitimate. Like, fight somebody that is in that world championship category. Like, top 10, top 5, however you want to do it. Of course, me, I respect anybody who gets out there and fights at all. Like, you've got to respect anybody who's going to suit up and fight. It just is what it is. Like, a lot of people ain't gonna fight. A lot of people are ducking fights. A lot of people, they're not taking fights. It's true. Like Connor said, it's a lot of pussies in this game. And I would never say a guy's a pussy because I don't know him. I don't know any of these guys. But I wouldn't say they scared. But, and y'all have heard me say this several times. You walk a guy. If you have a dog, you walk your dog. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk your dog before you let it run. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the Sean O'Malley thing, like, walk him. Walk the dog. If you have a guy who you think is very talented, don't just throw him in there at the wolves too quick. Like, let him fight some guys that you think that he can outclass. Like, and I get it, on the UFC stage, people don't want to see things like that. They feel like, no, if he's great, he needs to... No. Walk your dog. Fight guys that you feel like they're better than. And then start matching them with some guys that you feel like are on their level. And I think for the Sean O'Malley situation, people are just upset that hasn't happened yet. They feel like he keeps fighting guys that are underneath him, which, I feel like you just got to respect guys, but I understand where that thinking comes from. I'm a fan of Thomas Almeida. I always have been. Don't get me wrong, but I could see a guy go, hey, Thomas Almeida's not on his level. He shouldn't be in there with him. Chris Mountainho, shout out Mountainho. You know what I'm saying? He fought him. They're like, you just fought a guy off the streets, like, blah, 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 this and that. Like, I get it. I get the criticism. But going back to, I guess I'll start with Islam. So, I was upset, and I even said on here, I was upset with the whole Dan Hooker situation because I felt like you talking shit. Oh, yeah, he's lost 3 of his last 6. Like, y'all talking shit, but this motherfucker's in there with the best. Like, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, he's lost. He's got some losses, but he's in there with the best. And you rattle off a list of names of guys he's fought. Of course, we respect all these guys, but who on this list did you say, oh yeah, he's gonna beat him? Drew Dober, I thought, hey, Drew would give him a good knock, and he gave him a good knock, and he got choked out in the 3rd round. But you look at this list, this guy's the guy who y'all say he is. Who on this list can really F with him? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm not gonna get too deep into it with Islam. Dan Hooker got the fight. Great. Dan Hooker is a world class fighter. Like, and I'll go here. Who'd he lose to? Chandler knocked him out. Poirier. He almost finished Poirier several times. Like, Poirier, world champion. Like, we respect Poirier, right? Put some respect on Dan Hooker. Edson Barbosa hit him with the body kick. He regrouped after that. You know what I'm saying? But then his last fight, he got a good win. And that was a good fight. And that's why I'm so glad to see Dan Hooker back in here so soon. Like, this guy's been talking. Yeah, he got power. And, Dan's chin can't be touched. And I think that it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough go of it for Dan Hooker. I feel like this guy, if he is who they say he is, he's going to go out there and beat Dan Hooker. And it's like, I'm not saying no gatekeeper shit or nothing like that, but it's like, Dan Hooker, what does he rank? Is he rank 7, 8, 6? Dan Hooker's a top 5 guy. We all know that. If Dan Hooker can beat this guy, he can. Hey man, it's a lot. Hey, everybody making their cases for the belt right now at lightweight. So Dan Hooker could throw his name in there and say, hey, no, KG, what you got going on? You know what I'm saying? You gonna fight Chandler, which we're so excited about. We about to get a great fight, but he could say, hey, if that don't go well, y'all need to back up. What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dan Hooker's active. He's here, and he's trying to capture a belt. So, I think that I hope Islam isn't overlooking him. Like, this is gonna be his toughest test, and if he's not just a hype job, then here it is. Like I said, show me. You gotta fucking show me. So I feel like it's today, because it's Saturday. Today is his opportunity. Show the world. Like, show them you are who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? Now switching over to Chimaev, Jing Leong Lee or the Leech, however y'all know him. He is legit. Like, he is legitimate. When I saw him beat Ponzanobbia, because y'all know I'm super high on Ponzanobbia, and I talked about both those men on this channel for a long time. Ponzanobbia and then the Leech. I think both of them are just amazing fighters, and for him to go out there and beat Ponzanobbia how he did, I'm like, hey, it's time to start putting some fucking respect on his name. Like, it's time to start looking at him like a legitimate welterweight, like looking at him like a top 10 contender. I'm not saying he's the best guy at welterweight or anything like that, but after that fight, I said it's time to start giving him his respect. Like, that's a legit top 10 guy, and he can beat guys. The fight with Neil Magny didn't go his way, and I love Neil Magny too. But at the same time, like, Neil's great too. There are guys that can beat you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he's another guy similar to Dan Hooker. He's legit. I don't know. Of course, his list is not as long as Dan Hooker. He doesn't have the names Dan Hooker has on his list. But hey, at welterweight, he is a guy that if you don't beat him here, like if Khamzat goes out there and loses, and I saw a guy comment under some YouTube video saying that he trains with the Leech, and he's very hard to take down. And I had read some stuff that said the same thing. Like, if you go out there and the wrestling ain't working, and he kind of get with you at the stand up and he beat you, then we gotta look at you a lot different. We gotta look at you like a hype job. It just is what it is. Like, the UFC did a bad job with Darren Till. Darren Till, great fighter, a lot of respect for him. Darren Till got that title shot too fast. And just same as isn't Uzumir? Yeah, Uzumir's fighting on this card too. Another guy who got the title shot way too fast, and it stunned them. Like, now you're gonna have to fight the best, the hitters. Like, every time you go out, it's gonna be hitters rather than working your way up to hitters. You got some guys out of there that it's like, yeah, you got this guy out of there, but then what happened next? You had to fight the champion, and once you fight the champion, you don't go back down and fight top 10 guys. You're fighting the top 4, 3, 5. You know what I'm saying? The top 5, 4, 3 guys. Like, because you're going to be ranked at like 2. So it's like, you're not going to see 2 versus 6, 2 versus 7, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. So it's like, whoa, it could be a rough go of it. So I think the UFC is doing better. They like what they did with Uzdemir until it was bad talent management. They're doing a lot better now, and I think for Khamzat, I think this is his test. This is gonna be the guy. If you can be the Leech, if you can go out there, especially if you can go out there and just wrestle him up, like, you know what I'm saying, like we know you like to do, and put him on the ground, choke him out, get another finish, 9 wins, 9 finishes. Then it's like, hey, what can you say? And I think that his power is legit, and I think if it stays on the feet, the Leech can stick with him. That's just how I feel. I haven't seen nothing from him from a top guy where I'll say, hey, and on the feet, he just gonna crush him. Like with Till, he crushed some guys on the feet, but who were they? You know what I'm saying, respectfully. And I feel like this is the test. If he can get him out of here, this is the win for both these guys. If Islam can beat Hooker and Chimaev can beat the Leech, these are the 2 fights people are gonna look at and say, hey, it's legit. Like, it's here now. And, you know, hopefully the UFC doesn't throw either one of them into the title picture right after. Make those guys work, especially with Chimaev. Make them work. I know he said very soon, but by very soon, I hope you mean 2 fights away or one, or maybe one more. I'd like to see 2. I mean, y'all know me. I want to see a guy. I say walk your dog. And I say about 2 more fights, and you know what I'm saying, depending on the names he can knock off, then we get him in there for a title. You know what I mean? What's always very confusing right now, so I don't want to see another guy say, "Hey, I should get the title shot." But yeah, these are gonna be 2 important fights to look at. If you're asking me, keeping it being how I feel right now at 7:44 in the morning, Central Time, I feel as though it's gonna be Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker can go out there and get the job done. He gonna show like this guy's just a hype job. And fortunately for these guys, they've been hyped so much, and they do seem to have talent. I think that if Dan Hooker goes out there and works them and beats them, I think they'll be like the future's still bright for him, which is good because, like I said, one loss does not define you. And I'm not even gonna get. I've been getting to that for the past. I mean, however long I've been making videos, and even before. Stop thinking that one loss defines guys. Like, guys get a loss and they're like, "Oh, it's over." I gotta hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. But I will say that if he loses to Dan Hooker, keep him right there. Keep him right there in those top 10 guys. Like, let him fight other top 10 guys. But Dan Hooker was just too much. He beat off more than he can chew. I feel like Hooker's gonna win. I feel like Hooker's gonna stop him. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going for Dan Hooker with a stoppage. Dan's ready, man. His hands getting better. He's just ready. But with the leech, I think that Chimaev, or I'm sorry, man, I pronounce his name all wrong all the time. Khamzat. I think it's gonna be tough, but I think he can get the job done. I don't think he's gonna keep that finishing streak alive, but I think he could probably get the job done. And I like to see him get the job done. I think that guy's talented. I do. I just don't think that he is who y'all have hyped him up to be. But that's just me. Whatever. But yeah. So I take him by decision, I guess. And I'll take Dan Hooker by finish. It's like I said what I said. So y'all look out for that. When Dan Hooker get that finish, you know what I'm saying, get back on this video and be like, "Oh man, you're a god." But nah, all jokes to the side. It's a good card. Like I said, Uzdemir is fighting. That guy he's fighting. Oh man, who did we watch him fight? We watched him fight recently. Yeah, that's right, because he rematched that guy. He's pretty good. I like his size. He looks good. Is he undefeated? No, he's got 1 loss to Paul Craig. At what weight class? Really? Paul Craig beat him. That's what's up, man. Shout out Paul Craig. He's talented. But yeah, Volkan's back, and this is kind of a crossroads fight for him, in my personal opinion. This is like all right. Is he going back to Bellator, or is he here to stay? You know, with the Yuri, and I'll get into the title fight later. But Yuri should be fighting for that belt. It shouldn't be no backup. He should be in the main event. Him and Jan should be going at it. They should be going at it. But moving on. You know, he's taking a lot of losses, a lot of knockout losses too, and you know. I don't know where y'all are with him, but it's a lot of talent coming up in the light heavyweight division. And since that DC loss, getting beat by Smith and Reyes, and he won 2 back-to-back, and I didn't think he beat the Rocket. I think they had to rematch that. So, in my opinion, I'll call that a draw. I don't want to call it a loss because he does have a W, but I didn't think he won. And then Yuri just going out there and doing him how he did him. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know with him, and I feel like if he takes another loss, you know, the UFC got a cut coming. I think he might be involved in that, and I don't know, man. It just sucks, man. He was once very like I thought that he could actually compete with DC, but it was gonna take time. He wasn't there yet, and I didn't think DC had that much time anyway, because he was like contemplating retirement and all that. Like, at the time, it was just like, this is a bad fight for him. And he got his ass whooped. And what I don't want to see is him lose this fight and then say he doesn't get cut. But he does. The UFC tries to do with him what they do with a lot of guys and say, hey, we'll move up to heavyweight, fight up here. And he moves up to heavyweight and he just starts getting finished up there too. I don't want to see that crap. That would suck. I think that guy's got a lot of talent, and this is just. I mean, he's leading off the main event. This is that fight right here where it's gonna be like, hey, are we gonna see him in Bellator soon, or is he gonna, you know what I'm saying? And if he get finished by this guy, it's over. You know, unfortunately, it's like, all right, well, they saw how that went. It didn't go how they wanted it to, so to the shelf he goes. And I really don't want to see that. But moving on from that fight, and it's so funny, man. Like, and this is me because it's word association. Like, that's Volkan Ozdemir. Then you got Alexander Volkov. He's that heavyweight. And a lot of times especially like on YouTube, like when I talk and I post this shit, I have confused the two, and I've started talking about one as if I was talking about the other. That shows you I'm not professional, not ready for those jobs that I'm applying for, and the people keep sending me and saying, "Hey, I don't know," obviously, but he's fighting Marcin. That should be a good fight. It's a lot of finishing caliber fights here on this main card. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That should be a good fight. But I want to get into the Sandhagen thing, right? Because on the last video, and I'll probably repost it at some point in the future, but I talked about how you got to reward the real. And Corey Sandhagen slicked the definition of real. Like, he went out there and got his ass whooped. He got his ass handed to him by Aljamain. I mean, Aljamain went out there, took him down, whooped his ass, finished him, over with. Yo, minute 28 seconds, whooped his ass. He came back out, said, "Fuck that! I'm literally still here." He came back out July, August, September. 4 months later, 4 months after getting stopped, choked out, ass whooped. 4 months later, he comes back out, knocks out Marlon Moraes, and then after that, 3 months later, says, "Give me Frankie Edgar." Stopped Frankie Edgar in the first round. 28 seconds. Y'all know how I feel about Frankie Edgar. I was like, oh shit, Dan Hook. You not the one to fuck with. And then the TJ fight. Hey man, listen. I told y'all. I thought TJ was just gonna whoop his ass. I thought he's TJ. And he didn't. And I don't know if I ever got back on here and talked about like the aftermath of that fight. But I wanna say I was really fucking impressed. I was really impressed by Sandhagen. Like, I was like, wow, he right there in this shit. I still think he lost. I don't care what anyone says. I think TJ won. But I was like, he's still right here in this shit with TJ. Like, he's right here. You know what I mean? And I don't think people gave him enough credit. I mean, you see fighters talking about it. And I always say trust what you see the fighters saying. And a lot of fighters gave it up for him. But I mean, MMA media, like, I didn't see as much praise as I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see more praise for him, and I didn't. And I think in the last video I talked a little bit about the Aljamain situation, and I'm going to say it again here. I'm going to say it loud too. If you're hurt, don't fucking fight. And I say that because a lot of people shitting on Aljamain, and including Peter Yan, he's shitting on him saying like, oh, he's scared, chicken, blah, blah, all that shit. Like, listen. Even if the UFC doctor cleared him and his doctor didn't, I would say cool. But the fact that the UFC doctor wouldn't clear him to fight, I say, hey, we need to leave him alone. We need to leave him the hell alone, because what do y'all want to see? Him go out there and get his neck broke? Let him go out there without 100% neck and get hurt for real and like have like a career-ending injury? Is that what y'all want to see? No, people just want to run their yapper about him, and it's like, yeah, I get it. I don't like the antics either. I didn't like how he acted. I hated all that shit, but he's a human being, and he's a fighter that, you know, for as much respect as I see people putting on Do Bronx, it's like you gotta put a lot of respect on Aljamain too, because he's a product of the UFC. He was young, he got on, he fought, had some knocks, got better, kept getting better, got to fight for the belt. Like, let's put some respect on Aljamain Sterling. I feel like he's not getting enough respect, and this ain't about Aljamain. He's not fighting tonight. I'm glad he's not fighting. You don't fight if you're not 100%, especially your neck. You want to see him go out there and break his neck? A motherfucker who gonna shoot for 10 takedowns around if he got to. You want to see him break his neck? No, I don't. But whatever. Here we are. Sandhagen, he's got my respect, and I was upset about this fight being made. To tell the truth, I mean, TJ was on the shelf. He couldn't do it. You know, it had to be Sandhagen because I mean, there's no one else up there that you could say, hey, I can see him fighting for a belt. Like, even though he's coming off a loss, look at the loss. Like, look at the TJ fight. It was. I mean, he had a masterclass in there too. Like, he did his thing. I thought that split decision was perfect because there's a part of me that could have seen him getting it, but I did see it for TJ. So I agree with split decision loss. But I was upset because I felt like Jan should wait. That's how I felt. Then I saw the video where he's like, hey, look, I'm fighting on the 30th. I don't give a fuck who it is. I would beat anyone's ass. And y'all know me. I'm like, yeah. Because I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really for the shit talking. But, like, that's the kind of talk I'm for. Like, that's the good shit I love. Because he's like, hey, I'm fighting. I don't care who it is. I'm going to fight. That's the shit you got to respect. Because that's not shit talking. That's not trash talk. That's not, calling people out their name. That's just saying, like, look, I don't give a fuck. But whoever y'all put in there, I'm going to fight. And for Sandhagen, and I know y'all saw the little weigh-in thing where y'all gave him a little, you know what I'm saying? And Sandhagen was just like, all right, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just game. And I respect him for stepping up and taking this fight. This is going to be a hard fight because this fight is a little different. Like, I got on here and... my friends will shit on me, but I got on here now. I talk shit. I talk big game. I said, he ain't no God. Jan ain't no God. Or Yan. I said, Yan's not a God. Who is he? I don't care. Yeah. And the Aljamain fight. I've watched it several times because I really love Aljamain, and I was very biased at first, and I still stand on a lot of things I want to stand on. But watch that fight and watch it again. But don't look at Aljamain and all the shit he did well. Look at everything Yan does well. Yan, he's a monster. Like, he is a monster, man. Like, he can do it all. He can stand with you. He can get his trips off. Man, I still say he ain't no God, but shit, he it's a work of art, man. He does his thing. I'm very, very curious to see what he does with Sandhagen's length, though, because Sandhagen has been using his length very well, especially in that interview. If y'all can see it, I realize that sometimes y'all can see what I'm watching off the screen, off the picture, the reflection. It's funny. That's kind of funny to me. Like, they're gonna start taking my shit down again, but when he fought Marlon Moraes, even when he fought TJ, I love how he was using his length. Like, I'm not saying Jan's not gonna beat him because I think Jan's just better on the feet, but I don't know, man. Sandhagen, he's different, and he can walk out champion. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I really don't want to give a prediction here because, I don't want to sound like the hater, but I'll say this: if Pitar, if he goes out there and handles business the way he handles business, hey, that Jan and TJ talk need to slow down because hey man, TJ looked a little rusty, and saying hey, if he looked good, but it was a little rust on him. It was a little rust. The timing was a little rusty, and he coming off another surgery, so he coming off a long layoff and another surgery. Like, you just told me that damn body was healed up from all that time off. Now it's right back to the grinder. Like, hey man, I still want to see the Aljamain rematch, but I don't know how that's gonna go, And I'll say it again because I've said it 1,000 times. Sometimes the treatment of the black fighter, especially black champions in the UFC, is shitty, and depending on if Sterling plays ball how they want him to play ball, there could be a situation where, and of course, I don't want this to happen, but hear me saying this clearly because this has happened before and it will happen again. You could see him being stripped and Yan being made the undisputed champion. So we'll see. But I want to see a belt unifier. I hate interim belts. Everyone knows this. I hated that Sanhagen even had to take this fight. I feel like he should get a legit championship fight. But unfortunately, he's not. But it is what it is. I think it's going to be a good knock, and I'm just excited to see what they do with each other. Like two elite strikers. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with each other. Sorry for the delay there. Let me sip a drink or something. Hold on, y'all. Crazy shit going on. But goddamn, yeah, man, shit. I'm excited to see what they do with each other. You know, a lot of times, just like him in the TJ fight, you're gonna get fights that are just master classes and guys trying to find the range and strike. I'm curious to see though if Sandhagen's length starts to really mess with Yan, will he shoot for the takedown? Like, will we see that? I don't know. I really don't know. But I think that he's so strong, and I think like my boy Scooter always talks about this. Actually, my boy Champion Scooter, he talks about this a lot about how Jan's strong and he don't get credit enough for his strength. And I think in that Faber fight, you really got to see, and in the Jose Aldo fight, you got to see like this guy's strong as shit. And I think that he probably stronger than Sandhagen. And I feel like Sterling implemented a great strategy and just saying, I'm going to out-muscle him. And now, granted, I don't think Yan will do it with the wrestling, but I will say that if he decides to, grapple a little bit with him, how will that look? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, bro, I'm curious to see these two strikers go to war. Like, I feel like we really gonna get a good show. And I mean, Sandhagen. Sandhagen, like, he could be champion. Like, that fight with TJ is like, hey, shit. Hey, he showed a lot, man. He really showed a lot. So, we'll see, man. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. If you ask me for a prediction, though, honestly, if I had to predict, I would predict that Yan can beat him, and he can beat him. He'll just beat him on the feet. Probably 4-1. I feel like he could possibly dominate him. But if you ask me what I put my money on, I put my money on Sandhagen for the victory. I'm not saying Sandhagen go finish him. We saw Yan get hit clean by Aljamain a few times, and nothing seemed to really phase him. I mean, he caught something clean where he like adjusted, but nothing seemed to like. You know how guys start looking down the barrel of their gun. Nothing gave me that feeling. You know what I mean? So I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen, y'all. Like, I really am. That's gonna be a treat. I think I'm gonna record tomorrow too, cause I'm gonna watch that fight probably 4 times, and I'm gonna want to record again, cause like when those two dudes fight, their striking is elite. Like I said earlier. I watched everything Aljamain did good. But then if you watch and don't even look at Aljamain, like, you just look at Pitar, you're like, dog, this dude, how do you beat this dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do? But I'm here, man. I'm here to see Sandhagen put in some work, man. So we'll see what happens. But to the title fight, though. Blachowicz don't get enough credit. And I've been giving it up for him really since the Was that Reyes that he pummeled like that? Y'all forgive me, man. I'm old as hell. Yeah, since the Reyes fight, and let me first let me touch on this Corey Anderson thing. This beef they having. All right, Corey Anderson is doing his thing. I ain't gonna get into my fighter payback, but he made more in 2 fights than he did in 15 in UFC. But I'm not even gonna get in that bag right now. But I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, Blachowicz beat him, but Corey knotted that boy up too. So it's like, I don't think Corey Anderson should be out here saying that he's the best light heavyweight in the world. I don't agree with that statement in the slightest. I'm gonna go far. I want to say I disagree with the bullshit that he's trying to spew. Like I'm gonna take it a step further. I disagree with that, but not a lot of guys can say that at light heavyweight, and I feel like he is one of the light heavyweights in the world that can say, "Hey, I'm the best." I don't believe him. I don't hear me correctly. I don't think he is the best in the world, but he's one of them. And there's not gonna be any interpromotional fights, so it's like Corey Anderson not gonna see Jan again, but it is what it is. And I don't like this whole notion that, well, if Glover beats him, then it proves that Corey's better. It's like, no, the fuck it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that shit in the slightest. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that. Like, he slept Corey. He slept Corey early. Slept him. Like, put him out. Don't get me wrong, but motherfuckers get slept all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that means that he's. I'm sorry, I lost my point there. I just seen him sleep Corey Anderson again, and I'm like, damn. But no, I don't think that if Glover beats him, that means Corey's better. That's dumb. That's dumbass MMA logic that y'all try to make up. Don't do that. Blachowicz lately, past 2 years, he been handsing people up. He been showing the striking off, and he's been getting some favorable matchups. Like, he got the Luke Rockhold matchup, and Luke Rockhold was moving up. He was dealing with some injuries. It's a perfect matchup for him. You can really, you know what I'm saying, show that, hey, I do this shit for real, and I'm a real 205er. You know what I'm saying? I got real power. Guys was knocking you out at 85. Imagine what I'm gonna do to you. Boop, left hook, slap his ass. Herb didn't get in there quicker than that, man. What the hell? But yeah, he's got some good matchups, and he's taking advantage of them. And he showed, especially in that Reyes fight, because I didn't think he had a shot in hell. I'm like, Reyes is too talented right now. He went out there, and he was hitting Reyes with that body kick. Hey, real talk, he had him bruised the fuck up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is striking. And even with that same respect, when he fought Adesanya, what did I say? I'm not gonna insert the clip because that shit be taking too long. I ain't got it like that. I said, yeah, he's great, but Israel's striking's way better. Hey, man, he went out there and struck with him. He went out there and said, all right, you want to stand and trade? I'm going to stand and trade with you. I'm going to get the better at some of these exchanges. And guess what? Late in the fight, you know what I'm going to do. Taking your little ass down, and I'm putting you on your back, and it's where we're going to be at for a while. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Blachowicz deserves a lot more respect. I think Corey Anderson just kind of got to sit down right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not your time to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your time to talk. I was thinking that they went back and forth, but they did not. I apologize for my earlier statement. Blachowicz just went out there and knocked Corey Anderson ass out. And I don't like the other part of that where it's like, oh yeah, Corey Anderson beat him, and then he just and Corey Anderson just ran off the Bellator, because it's not like that either. Like, I don't want it to look like he just ran from the smoke or nothing like that. Like, he got knocked out. He was on a roll though. Like, Corey Anderson could have flipped the script, and like the same thing he's doing right now, he could have did that in UFC. He just didn't. He got better, and whether you want to talk about level of competition, this, that, and third, blah blah blah, like, he as a fighter he's gotten better. He's showing that he is better. So whatever, he ain't coming back to UFC, and Blachowicz ain't going to Bellator, so it's a moot point. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But nah, Blachowicz just shows that, and I laughed about the Polish power and shit, but the Reyes fight is just a prime example. Like, bruh, he on another level with this striking right now. Like, he on another level with this shit, and the Israel fight showed that, hey man, he's on another level. And I think that like Glover, and I respect Glover Teixeira. He's been in the game a long time, but like, what do you think's about to happen? And I said this when this fight got made, when he was giving Glover all that respect. I'm like, you need to be fighting Geary. I don't want to see you get a defense off Glover. I don't. No. And Glover's he's been winning lately. Don't get me wrong. Teixeira is no chump, but yeah, nothing in me believes that he's got a shot in hell. And that's with all due respect. You know what I'm saying? He old as shit. And, you know, he's like, oh, he could be the oldest champion in UFC. And it's like, yeah, that junk sound good, but y'all know the game. Y'all know the real. Like, there's no way he's gonna be, especially how Blachowicz is fighting right now. Come on, man, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Sorry, just is what it is. Like, he's too good right now. He's too good. What can Glover show him that he hasn't seen in Reyes or Israel? Like, he just fought two of the better strikers, the long guys. Like, and he struck with them. Now, granted, I don't think that he's gonna be able to do as much of the walking down as he did with Israel. He walked Israel down a lot, and I hate to kind of see that, but he had the power to prove that. I think Glover's got enough power to where there are going to be instances where he walks him down, but it's going to be less of that because Glover holds a lot of power too, and I think he's aware of that. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's cool to say that. Ain't no disrespect in that. I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he whoop Anthony Smith ass, and that's cool. Like, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm not really feeling it. I'm not feeling like he can beat Blachowicz. I be wrong a lot, and I get on here and say that. I get on here and I'm proud of that. I don't care. I have a lot of stupid ass opinions. I say a lot of shit, but I'm gonna stand on it. And he been on a roll lately. Is that 5 in a row? He been on a roll. He been doing his thing, but that's perfect. Look back to not even according to this fight. Look back to the Gustafsson fight. Remember Gustafsson hit him with upcuts. I think that this is probably the best striker since Gustafsson has fought. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, this is the best striker since Gustafsson that he fought, and I don't. Nothing. Just I'm saying, y'all. Not like what tells y'all he's just about to go out there and win. Like what can he do to Jan? Is he gonna take him down? Because now, and he talks about he's going down either with my left hand or I'm gonna put him on his back, or he's going to his back either way. I don't think he's gonna be able to take Blachowicz down. I just don't. I don't think he's gonna be able to get him down. Yeah, Blachowicz just too crisp right now, bro. He just too good. Like, and there are times, especially champions, like there are times where they fight guys and you just like, bro, it don't even matter. He too good right now. Like, this guy not gonna fuck with him, and it just doesn't. Like, you know, DC was on a roll at one time, and it was like, bro, y'all putting who in front of him? Demir, like, he's not fucking with him. And Giannis is in that zone right now, especially off that Israel fight where, you know, I think a lot of people, and you know, Israel was too small, blah blah this and that, but a lot of people got to see like, hey, you can put me here with the best strikers. I'm gonna do something with them. Now I say there's levels to it, and he's still not fucking with John. Whatever, he wouldn't mess with John. John different, but yeah, I don't know. If Glover can get him down and he can take the back, it could be a wrap. But I just don't think he's gonna be able to get him down. And Blachowicz just uses his length so uses his length so well. I think it's just gonna be a long night. Excuse me, it's gonna be a short night. In that main event, but the real main event is the co-main event anyway. Peter Yan and Corey Sandhagen. That's the real main event. That's the people's main event. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our main event. But no, Blachowicz should be fighting Yuri, and they didn't give me that fight, so fuck them. And I get it. I complain about people going up to the top too quick and blah blah, but there are guys and there are guys, and you got some guys that are just ready. And I thought Yuri was ready. I was like, hey, he's the guy. You know what I mean? And granted, you look at his strength schedule, you say, oh well, blah 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 blah. Like he don't got a strength schedule, but I mean, yeah, that's true. But we needed something in the light heavyweight division, and he provided that. And I know it sounds similar to the Uzdemir situation, but it doesn't. Like this guy was outstanding champion where he was. He fought guys like he had that exciting style, and if you looked at the rankings, who else? Who else was Quagmire? Like who else? There was nobody. With the Uzdemir situation, I was upset because there was guys DC could have fought. It wasn't him, and they threw him up there, and he wasn't ready. And he was young. But how old is Yuri? Motherfucker like 35, that nigga old as shit. Yeah, Uzdemir is 32 now. Yuri is what? 29 years old? Damn. It's crazy. Wrong. 29 years old and fought 32 times. Motherfucker ain't lost since 2015. Like, bro, come on now. Like, it's different. It's different than the Uzdemir thing. I know what y'all thinking. No, it's not, Frank. But it is. Y'all gave him a title shot off of knocking out Jimmy Manowat. Like, it's just different. Like, it's different, bro. But y'all can think whatever y'all want. Fuck y'all, I don't care. But I think the year should be fighting for the belt. I do. Part of me does appreciate the fact that Jan called for Glover, and they gave him Glover. I do respect that. I respect that a lot. That means a lot to me. A lot of times guys call their shot in the UFC, just be like, we're going to make the fight we want to make. And I appreciate them for letting Yuri be the backup and pretty much letting him know that no matter who wins, you next. I think that's important. Guys need to know where they sit. Like, or you end up like Leon Edwards and you don't know where you sit and you just get fucked over. And time again. And I'll get into that in my next video, but I want to tell you, I am now Team Leon. I'm just keeping it a bean with you. I'm Team Leon now. You know, I feel like I got on here and I was a Leon hater, but I'm Team Leon now. I'm Team Leon. I love how they show Glover's highlights. The comeback. Yeah, because shit was rough for him there for a while. But yeah, Blowage he's a bigger 205. Like you're not gonna get him to the ground. How you got these guys to the ground? I don't know. I would love to be wrong. Glover's sure been in the game a long time, man. I didn't see him get his ass whooped by some of the best. Johnson, Gustafson, John Jones. I didn't see him. John Jones really put it on him. And that was a time where it was like, man, this is gonna be the guy to take John's belt. He wasn't. Sometimes there are just fights that are made and you're just like, all right, well, cool. But like he's the next guy, you know what I'm saying? So the fight has to happen. But in this situation, I feel like there was another guy that could have skipped him. But respect to him for giving him a shot, but that's all it is. He's just going to be another name on the list. And damn. All right. I got to go, y'all. But that's it, man. Talk with your boy Frank, man. I'm back. And I'm better than ever. So that's it. Oh, back to my predictions. I'm gonna give you my predictions real quick. I'm gonna give you all of them, just so nobody can say, oh, blah, blah. I'm taking Uzdemir. I think he's back. I think he'll be back, and he's not gonna be in Bellator. I'm taking Khamzat, taking him by decision. I'm taking Marcin by knockout, second round. I'm taking Dan Hooker by finish. Dan Hooker, because he's Dan Hooker. He's that dude. If I take Dan Hooker, that means I gotta take Sandhagen, but I'm not. Taking Yan or Jan or whatever. Then I'll take Blachowicz because there's no way. But I love to see Sandhagen win today, and I think the Dan Hooker thing. I ain't touched on that earlier, but I also want to see Dan Hooker win. This guy talked a lot of shit. Him and his team, not just him. They talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Dan Hooker wasn't the real deal. So I want Dan Hooker to go out there and show him like. Talk all that shit, but I'm the real deal. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, that was MMA Talk with your boy Frank, man. I'm out.